Okay, so I want to add some more detail to my design. I've decided on the title of my album. It's going to be called Alien Spaceballs. So I'm going to draw some of the aforementioned alien spaceballs. These 5 or 6 tools up here are our selection tools. We've seen about Move Layer tool. I'm going to use this one, which is the Marquee selection tool, the most basic kind of selection tool. But before I do that and create the extra bits of my design, I'm going to create a new layer for them to go on. We recommend that you put different aspects of your design on different layers so you have the maximum amount of editorial control. So I've just gone to the new layer tool down on the bottom bar here, created a new layer. So this is a new graphics layer. Nothing on it yet. So I'm going to select an area using the circular or the elliptical marquee. You can see I've got different kinds of marquee tool. This is the one I'm going to use, and you can see that the options for that tool have come up here. So I can add selections, I can subtract from selections, and I can intersect selections as well. When I'm dragging my selections out, you can see I can drag freely, or if I hold the shift key down, I can drag proportionately, so my ellipses turn into circles and my rectangles will turn into squares. I can also hold down the space bar at the same time, and you'll see that allows me to move my selection around as well. So this is no keys, free definition of shape. This is with the shift key, constrains it to a circle, and this is with the shift key and with the spacebar press, and I'm moving that circle around. So I'm going to just start by creating one fairly large circle here. Lift my finger off the mouse. I've selected an area on this layer. Okay, I'm going to use my gradient tool, and I've selected my colours down here. I want to get a bit of colour in there, so I'll choose a bright green and a black because I want to create a sort of 3D effect. Okay, if I double click in here, you can see the gradient and how it's set up. And you can actually edit that gradient. You can add more colours to it. You can drag them off. So by clicking, we add another pointer. We can add colours to our gradient and make custom gradients. And we can edit our gradient in terms of the mix of colours. I'm going to go right over here with ours. Okay, and all I do then is again simply just draw in until I get the effect I want. So I want to get a sort of 3D effect on our gradient here, on our sort of planet here. I want to make it look more like a ball. Not quite happy with the way that gradient is working, so I'm just going to change the way that comes across there and start and just draw a little bit further out. That's gone a bit too far out. Issues with where my gradient decides it wants to start. That's not enough at all. Okay, it's getting there, so I'm going to get the start point and the end point right. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I've got my sort of 3D looking ball, and that's using the gradient tool and the ellipse tool to select the area. We'll talk a little bit more about selections in the next tutorial, but that's a basic introduction to selections. That's a basic introduction about how to create new layers. Well, I'm just going to finish by talking about the select menu, and you can see a bunch of different hotkeys here. So I can deselect that selection. I can inverse it, which means it will select everything but the thing that I've originally selected, and I can modify it in a variety of ways. For example, by putting a border on it, smoothing it, expanding it, contracting it, and feathering it, which is a fade away from the selection area. Those are things that are worth playing with. But for now, that's the end of this tutorial. I will just deselect my alien spaceball and leave it on my album cover as it is.